All right, welcome back, everyone. My name's Token D Rock. I hope all of you are having a wonderful Thursday night. It is February 17th, and we officially have the second country to make Bitcoin legal tender. Very, very cool. This time it is Ukraine. Looking at the overall crypto market cap, we have come down a bit. Prices across the board, Bitcoin took the lead with the charge. Total crypto market cap is sitting right at $1.86 trillion. We were sitting above $2 trillion not too long ago. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin is at $40,760. ETH is right around 2,900 once again. BNB is just barely above $400. Cardano's getting close to that $1 price tag once again. Again, these prices are temporarily. If you're not crazy about the way things are going, give it another week. We may see some price movement to the upside. We may go down lower. Joe Biden is giving an executive order, I believe, next week pertaining to crypto. It may kill crypto here in the US. Who knows? I'm hoping he says something kind of like lukewarm, where there's like good and bad. I'm sure it's not all going to be 100% bad for crypto, but who knows? The US as of late has been really weird with crypto by and large. They've been shooting themselves in the foot, but enough of that, enough of the politics. Let's get to Bitcoin. Let's focus on the video. Look at this. We got rejected, which we talked about in the other stream. Got rejected right here at this resistance. The bears put up right around 44,300. If we zoom in on the minute chart, go back past 24 hours, we were all the way back up here. This support broke. Then this became support. Bulls found support there. Then we rallied up here. That support that was previously support is now became resistance. The bears drove the price down. The support continued to hold. Bulls drive the price back up to that line of resistance, and the bulls could not push through. Bears drove it back down to that line of support, which broke. And now looking at today, we were holding above 41,700 roughly. That held for a few hours, and eventually that broke, and we've been in this range for the past few hours. So the bears drove the price initially down to this first line of support right here, 40,761, and then down here they drove it all the way down almost to 40K. I personally think, I've told you guys several times, like, I think we need to go, pardon me, I think we need to go to 30K at least one more time, if not a little bit lower than that, and then we may see new all-time highs, new big price movements to the upside. One other thing that I do want to point out for you guys is last time a country made Bitcoin legal tender was September 7th, and that was El Salvador. Notice this big red candle on September 7th. That was roughly a $10,000 drop. I don't think it's any coincidence that as soon as El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender, the price dropped drastically, and it was hilarious because I recall Nayib Bukele, president of El Salvador, tweeted out that they actually bought the dip when they saw the price tumble roughly 10K. And look, it didn't stop there. We saw some price movement to the upside. Bulls rallied a little bit, but then it got shot down all the way down to roughly 39.5. That's literally like a $13,000 drop right there. It's nothing to scoff at. September, for the most part, was pretty bearish month, besides like literally that last day in the first few days of the month. That's not the focus of this video. I'm just telling you, like, what we're seeing right now is, it's not like it's out of the cards, you know. It's kind of lines up with what we've seen in the past. But it's interesting to note that El Salvador, the first domino to fall for Bitcoin, took about what, 11, 12, almost like 12, 13-ish years. The second domino only took 5 months, 4 or 5 months. That's not even half a year. It's pretty crazy. But the SEC is warning against interest-bearing crypto accounts. Why is this such a big deal? Well, they're saying that they're riskier than bank deposits. Why could they possibly think that? Okay, well, let's read into it. Okay, so the US Securities and Exchange Commission's Office of Investor Education and Advocacy, Division of Enforcement's Retail Strategy Task Force announced Monday that they have jointly issued an investor bulletin to educate investors about risks with accounts that pay interest on crypto asset deposits. On the same day, SEC announced that it had charged cryptocurrency lending platform BlockFi for failing to register its crypto lending product. BlockFi has agreed to pay $100 million in penalties to settle the charges with the SEC and 32 state regulators. The SEC explained that an interest-bearing account for crypto asset holdings are not as safe as bank or credit union deposits. Securities Watchdog noted that banks and credit unions are regulated by both federal and state banking regulators. In addition, deposits at banks or federal credit unions are insured by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, National Credit Union Administration, NCUA. Similarly, securities accounts held with the U.S. registered brokers may also be insured by the Securities Investor Protection Corporation. SEC warned companies offering interest-bearing accounts for crypto assets do not provide investors with the same protections as do banks or credit unions, and crypto assets sent to those companies are not currently insured. To be fair, SEC, like, if we're going to be 100, before the pandemic began, banks were only supposed to hold, I believe, 10% of the cash that they have total, like, on hand. So, I mean, yeah, they're insured, but ever since the pandemic began, that number of 10% went down to 0%. So if everyone were to go to the bank right now and try to take out $1,000 or something, I don't really know if the bank would have all the money on hand because of the adjustment that they made from 10% down to 0%. Look, I'm not here to assume what the SEC's goals are, you guys, but if they're really talking about money being insured and, crypto asset management companies, like, they're not insuring your product or whatever, I don't know. Banks arguably aren't doing it either. So that's all I'm going to say. Agency then outlined the risks these activities are subject to, including volatility and liquidity in the crypto markets. The company holding your assets may go bankrupt, changes in regulation, potential fraud, technical glitches, security breaches, and malware. Okay, that's a fair argument, okay? But are we going to sit here and act like there's no fraud occurring at the regular banks that we put our money into? Like, come on. Security breaches and malware. Like, how many times do you get a report from Credit Karma saying your password was found in a data leak or whatever? Like, I'm not saying that's always tied to the bank, but that can happen through a bank. It's not like it's not possible. What does this mean in the bigger picture? Well, that means Celsius, Voyager, Next are kind of in hot water with the SEC kind of scoping in on the platforms that offer interest for staking your crypto out to them. To show you the extent as to how far this went with BlockFi, why can't I add assets to my BlockFi interest account? Look at this. This was published on Valentine's Day. Due to new regulatory restrictions, US-based BlockFi clients with funded BIAs before February 15th, 2022 can maintain the assets in their BIA, but they can no longer add assets to their account. Assets that remain in the BIA will continue to accrue crypto interest daily, with interest payments made monthly. Non-US clients can add assets in BIA by transferring assets from the wallet. And this is what I meant earlier when I said that the US is kind of shooting itself in the foot when it comes to crypto. Just to go a little bit more into detail as to what changed also, like, look at this. How do I add assets to my BlockFi interest account? At this time, only non-US clients can transfer assets from their wallet into their BIA. Personally, I don't think the SEC is going to crack down nearly as hard on Voyager and Celsius. I think they have their SHIT together a bit more so than BlockFi, because I recall BlockFi was having the state regulators talk about how, oh, they're not allowed to operate in their state, blah, blah, blah. Like, I heard that at least like 5 times last summer. So it's not too surprising to me that this is all happening right now and it's finally taking action. But I haven't really seen like nearly as much talking about Celsius and Voyager. So I'm not saying they're entirely safe, but I think they may be a little bit safer than, say, BlockFi. I have a little bit on there because I still use the BlockFi Visa Signature Rewards card, 1.5% for every purchase. But this is a great thread. I'll leave the thread down below in the description box if you want to read the whole thing. Gets a little political, so I'm not going to read all of it, but thread: U.S. Senators Weaponized. First, Nayib Bukele is perfectly within his right to criticize the group of meddling senators trying to start a State Department investigation of Bitcoin in El Salvador. What's there to investigate? It's an internal financial matter. Couldn't agree more. Second, it's clear that the US is in poor position to criticize anyone on their currency choices given the absurd levels of inflation thanks to corrupt multi-trillion-dollar boondoggles benefiting some of these senators, among many other gravy train riders. Okay, pretty based. Third, it is very obvious that this idea to start an investigation did not suddenly dawn on its sponsors out of the blue. It's not like the US does not have domestic and foreign priorities more important than El Salvador's Bitcoin. Very true. This is a creation of failing, frustrated finance lobbying. Fourth, at least some of these lobbyists are likely not even American. In other words, far more concerning than Nayib Bukele's economic choices for El Salvador for Americans should be the influence of foreign interests on U.S. politicians, frequently of no benefit to the U.S. Yes, 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 yes. It's interesting how both sides of the political spectrum here in the U.S. like to talk about how, oh, the other side is, in cahoots with a particular country across the globe, or oh no, they're in cahoots. If you really look into it, guys, they're both in cahoots, okay, with these other countries to some extent. I'm not saying everyone from each party is, but majority of them are owned by the corporations. If they're not owned by the corporations, they're owned partially to foreign entities, foreign politicians, foreign nations, and stuff like that. They have allegiances elsewhere. Like, they're not only here serving you, is what I'm trying to say, and they may be making way more money from serving a foreign interest. So you have to kind of understand like why so many senators are like against crypto, because either they don't understand it or they're being lobbied to / being paid to not be with crypto or be against it, basically. But yeah, this is a good clip. Again, not getting too political, but this is a good clip.
Nations have a right to sovereignty and territorial integrity. They have the freedom to set their own course and choose with whom they will associate.
I agree, but if we're gonna go with that, again, I don't know the whole situation with Ukraine. I'm not gonna act like I know it, but NATO and Russia are both on top of Ukraine. They're like pressuring them to pick a side, when really I think it'd probably be best if Ukraine just figured out its own problem. I don't think it needs two superpowers at its doorstep, like, hey, you want to help us? Oh, we've got your back here. You do a few things here, agree with us on this and that. Like, it's a mess. And like, I agree with Joe Biden here, but his actions are not matching his words. And again, going on with the Ukraine ordeal, Blinken urges Russia to use diplomacy and commit to no invasion. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke at the United Nations Security Council meeting on Thursday and called on Russia to de-escalate immediately and to engage in dialogue and diplomacy, proposing a meeting with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov next week. More than 150,000 Russian troops are still amassed near the border, according to U.S. officials. So personally, I'm super bullish on Bitcoin. Like the second domino fell in less than 6 months, you guys. The first domino took over a decade. Second domino, less than 6 months. I'm not saying we're going to see another domino fall here in the next 3 months, but I think if inflation continues to run rampant across the globe, not just in foreign nations, but also here in the US, more and more people are going to wake up and see the value that Bitcoin has. And to be honest, like I'm not too worried about the SEC. Yes, I'm like worried about how they may affect the interest rates. Like, yes, guys, we for sure will probably be getting lower interest rates on Voyager, Celsius, and all these other platforms that are offering up to 10 to 15% on some of these cryptos. Like I know on Voyager, you can earn like 12.5% on Polkadot, while on like Bitcoin, you're earning 4.75%. Those rates, to be 100% with you guys, they're like speeding up the process of the rates going down, because the reality of the situation is those rates, I'm not saying this is a good thing that they're bringing the rates down, but I'm just saying those rates were going to go down regardless, because as more and more people adopt crypto and hop onto these platforms and start taking advantage of the interest, the crazy amounts of passive income that they can be earning from their crypto while they're just hodling it, like they can't offer those same rates as more and more people hop onto their platforms. It's just not possible. They're not able to pay out the same rates. So the SEC is kind of shooting the US in the foot again when it comes to crypto, but it's not all doom and gloom. And I'm going to tell you why. I have super confidence in the VGX token. I've talked about it many times. Like it gives you interest boosts on the Bitcoin and Ethereum that you have in the app along with USDC. You get paid in VGX middle of the month and the beginning of the month for market orders that you complete. They're going to have a desktop app. This quarter, they're expanding to Europe. France is one of the countries that is confirmed. They didn't say what other countries they're expanding to, but I'm super bullish on Bitcoin and the VGX token. Personally, this FUD or this fear about like Voyager platform, Celsius and all that, like I hate to say it, but like I'm ignoring it. As stupid as that sounds, I'm pretty much ignoring it. Like I'm gonna wait to see how this plays out, because to be honest, I think a lot of people that are on Celsius and Voyager are gonna hop off of it because they're scared of what happened to BlockFi. They think the same exact thing is gonna happen. I don't think the same thing's going to happen. Again, are we going to see the overall experience decline a little bit on those apps? Yeah, probably. We're going to get lower rates, you guys. Like that, I hate to say it, but that's the reality of it. But you're still going to make more on those apps than you would earn at a traditional bank. So it'll still be a no-brainer for anyone who compares the numbers or compares the figures, okay? So VGX could legitimately go to $1 and I would still be buying like a madman. I'm going to be buying so heavy if all these people like get scared off the platform and they run away. Like let's just look at the VGX token, okay? The reason why I'm so bullish on this token, I've talked about this many, many times. I hate to keep shilling this token, but literally this token and Bitcoin, it's literally where probably 90% of my money's going. No joke this year. Like any money that's going in crypto, 90% is going into VGX or Bitcoin. Mostly Bitcoin, but I'm going to be stacking VGX pretty hard. But look at this. Not even $500 million market cap. Just like let that sink in, you guys. Compare this to the, cryptos up here on the list. I'm not saying it's going to pull a Binance coin, okay? I'm not saying it's going to go to $66 billion market cap, but if it did half of that, think about the juicy gains, you guys. Like a lot of you guys are hopping into crypto for the first time and you're like, "Oh, I want to make 100x's. I want to make, 1,000x's." It's possible, but you're probably going to make a lot of mistakes getting to that 1,000x. So why not hop on a token like this, like VGX? Like seriously, not even $1 billion market cap, not even $500 million market cap. 100x from the current market cap would still put it below USDC. It's not going to 100x anytime soon, but again, long term, you guys, this is like a 3 to 5 year plan with VGX for me. I'm going to be stacking like crazy these next 3 years. And you better believe I'm going to stack it extra hard if we go below $1. I don't see it happening, but we could see below $1. I mean, Bitcoin could very well go to like 25 or 20K, and we could see altcoins get dragged and decimated another like 30-40%, if not 50% for some of these altcoins. The damage that will be seen to these altcoins if Bitcoin even goes down just 10K, 25% down from here. Well, again, a lot of these alts are going to be destroyed. So personally, I'm super bullish on Bitcoin. I'm super bullish on the VGX token, regardless of the SEC putting their microscope on Celsius and Voyager. I'm not too concerned, you guys. What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments section. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about the whole ordeal. Do you think the SEC is killing crypto in the US? Do you think it's helping crypto? I don't know why you would believe that. I think some regulations not bad, but I think they're going overboard with the interest and stuff because traditional finance is just stupid in my opinion. Why would you put your money in a bank and earn 0.1% when you can put your money on a crypto platform and earn 5 to 10% just holding it there and doing nothing? You don't even have to be trading. It's a no-brainer. I think traditional finance is largely dead. I think Bitcoin and cryptocurrency platforms like Voyager and Celsius are going to drive innovation in the financial world and the financial sector. So that is the end of the stream, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something about it. Maybe I sparked some ideas in your head. Maybe you're going to go do some research, learn a bit more about these platforms. If you guys want to start earning interest while you can on these platforms, I got links down below for Celsius, Voyager. Please check those links out down below. If you like the stream and want to see more content like this, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live next. If something crazy happens tonight, like if Bitcoin tanks 5 to 10K, I will stream tomorrow. Like, no questions asked. I will do it, and I will tell you guys like what I picked up because it'll be like Christmas morning if Bitcoin goes to 30K overnight. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be more gradual drawdown, but we'll see. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, have a great night/day, depending on when you watch the stream, and invest wisely. Take care. Bye.